To reach this treasure, fishermen must drill through the ice, creating round black doors in the vast white background. The job sounds simple, but each drill is a hammer blow to the body. The sound reverberates in the frozen air. The breath billows into thick smoke. They knelt at the edge of the ice hole, carefully lowering steel cages weighing hundreds of kilograms into the -2 degrees Celsius water, a temperature low enough to cause hypothermia in a split second. As the cage was pulled up, the ice around the edge of the hole cracked and water rushed onto the deck, slippery as oil. One slip and the body would be sucked into the black water, where consciousness would disappear in just 60 seconds and death would come before a cry for help could be called. The wind here is not just cold, it rips through all your protective gear. Wind temperatures of -30 degrees Celsius burn your face and eyes, and your hands go numb even when wrapped in multiple layers of gloves. The winch, a tool used to lift cages full of crabs, can turn into a deadly steel trap if the rope gets caught around a hand or foot, because in these conditions, there is no room for error. And as if that weren't harsh enough, the weather in the Bering Sea is a constant betrayal of sailors. A clear sky can be swallowed by a blizzard in a matter of minutes, turning the deck of a ship into a whiteout where directions are meaningless and every step is potentially dangerous. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the king crab fishery in Alaska has a fatality rate 25 times higher than the average for all other occupations. And for the men who stick around, each crab pulled from the ice hole is not only worth hundreds of dollars, but is living proof that they have defeated the cruelty of polar nature, at least for that day. But at least in Alaska, you're only fighting ice. In your next job, you're up against an apex predator that's been dominating the ocean for hundreds of millions of years. And the scariest part is, it rarely hunts alone.
I ain't going anywhere. That's a fat blue egg. Oh no, it looked bigger. No, no. Oh, you both got blue eggs? Oh, no, he's got a normal rest.
In the middle of the South Pacific, small, old wooden ships drift dozens of nautical miles from shore with only the sky and the sea as companions. There are no giant nets or industrial winches on deck. The fishermen's only weapons here are a wrist-thick fishing line, a few shiny steel hooks, and calloused hands accustomed to salt and fish blood. Their target is not mackerel or tuna, but sharks, predators that have existed since the dinosaur era, possessing perfect killing instincts. They lowered their hooks deep into the deep water, waiting in silence, listening only to the sound of waves and the creaking of wood. As the rope began to vibrate violently, the worker rushed to the side of the ship, wrapped the rope around his arms, and braced himself against the terrible pull from below. Each jerk seemed to break his wrist, and the cold sea water splashed straight into his face. Suddenly the sea exploded into a white whirlpool. A giant black shadow rose up, thrashing violently, its white teeth flashing under the bright sunlight. The rope was so taut it looked like it was about to snap, and its bare hands were bleeding, but it still held on tight. The shark twisted and lunged toward the side of the ship, sending water rushing up onto the deck, turning every step into a dangerous slide. When it was finally hauled up, its heavy body slammed against the deck, shaking the boat. But this victory always came at a high price. Hundreds of fishermen each year were injured, from deep cuts to missing fingers, and worse, thrown overboard into the sea among bloodsick sharks. For them, this is not just a profession, but a survival test, where just a moment of delay in tightening the rope, avoiding blows, or maintaining balance can cost them their lives. However, the shark's teeth are not necessarily the greatest danger. In the next profession, the real killer has no eyes, no consciousness, just thousands of lifeless hooks waiting silently beneath the waves. After facing the steel teeth of sharks, we go further, to the heart of the Pacific Ocean, where the danger no longer comes from living creatures, but from the deadly tools created by humans. Here, long-line fishing boats specializing in hunting bluefin tuna drop fishing lines tens of kilometers long into the sea, floating under the waves like an invisible maze. On each piece of wire, thousands of steel hooks glisten in the sunlight, both inviting and threatening anything that accidentally touches them. Each hook is a deadly trap, strong enough to hold a tuna weighing more than 661 pounds, but also ready to drag a human to the bottom of the sea. Just one slip on the wet deck, or one loop of rope around your ankle, and the full weight of the ocean will plunge you into the water in seconds, amid waves as high as an incoming wall of steel. When a fish is hooked, the wire is taut like a guitar string, vibrating violently before releasing violent jerks. The hook can shoot back like an arrow, piercing through flesh, slicing deep to the bone, or breaking a finger in the blink of an eye. The sound of crashing waves, the screeching of steel cables, and the shouts of sailors mix together to create a song of danger. Every step on the deck is a test of reflexes, running as fast as you can to pull the rope, but also avoiding sudden jumps, because just 1 second of distraction can end a career or even a life. However, the danger has never been a strong enough reason for them to give up. A qualified bluefin tuna can sell for tens of thousands of dollars in the Japanese market, making each haul a huge gamble, where rewards and risks always go hand in hand.